Hey everyone, welcome to the Troy Christian High School Chapel Podcast. At the end of this episode, please take a moment to subscribe to our Chapel YouTube channel and follow our Chapel Instagram account. Those two places will be the easiest way to check out what's coming up, as well as find some bonus content from our speakers and worship team. Most importantly, I hope the following message challenges and encourages you to grow in your relationship with God as you learn to love God and love others better. Enjoy. All right. Welcome to the podcast, Mya Barnishin. You're making some faces over there and it's cracking me up. How are you doing, Mya?
I'm good. How are you?
You're good. You are, Mya, you're the first student on the podcast. Is that, am I correct with that? We've got Tim and David in the room too. I'm getting verification. They're the fact checkers over here. The first student on the podcast. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you would be, let me just say a couple things real quick. I've noticed about you, and then I got to break some news to all you podcast listeners out there. We've got some big news that we got to drop today, and I'm taking my right and privilege to do that. But let me just say, from a personal standpoint of just watching you grow up, it's been cool to watch, kind of like seeing you kind of in the hallways, not really knowing you that well. Obviously I know your dad and I know your family, but like you have always been fairly reserved, quiet. Like I could tell that there was you had like a humor about you that like I wanted to get to know more, but you just kind of watch that. But to watch you this year, it's like all of a sudden you're just like, forget it. I'm just gonna put myself out there. That's been crazy. So I wanna talk about that, but first, I got some news to drop, right? Tim Jackson. So you mentioned in that panel Chapel, like if you haven't listened to that, that's a good one to catch, guys. But Tim mentioned several times about his girlfriend, because that's what he does. But Tim, she's no longer your girlfriend.
Uh-oh.
That's... Is this weird now that we're just kind of breaking this news on no longer your girlfriend? Because Tim Jackson is engaged, to Amanda.
I'm glad that you
long time. Amanda, do you know that? I hope, because he's been spreading rumors about this. If you don't, so congratulations, Tim and Amanda. We're excited for you. Amanda, if this is a hostage situation, just throw me a text, hit me up on the DMs, let me know that things aren't going well, and we'll try to take care of it. But no, we're excited for you guys. Congratulations, Tim and Amanda. Man, big moves. That's wild.
It was hard sitting up on stage knowing that.
I know,
that they're
right?
about to get engaged.
Yeah, and you wanted to you kind of want to say something, but you couldn't ruin the surprise, you know? Yeah, Tim's like, same. I, wanted to say something crazy. Good times though. So Mya, back to you. I want to just talk through one. Well done on in Chapel. Your responses, your insights on just community and especially your perspective, not only as a student, but just including your personality in that, and your experience with community is just encouraging. I think my experience has been a lot of times when people talk about community, it's the people who that comes very naturally to them, and it doesn't always that's not the case for probably the majority of people. So it's awesome to have that perspective. But I've seen a change in you this year that I think has impacted how you experience community. So what brought about that change for you? Like why this year? And here's what I'm seeing. This year you were like, hey, I want to be involved with worship and singing on stage. And I was like, wow, okay, that's awesome. That's a move. And then you're like, I'll speak in chapel and I'll do intros. And it's all of these things all of a sudden. And then when I had a chance to interact with you, it's been it seems like, from my perspective, it seems like there's a freedom that you have given yourself this year for some things. But talk to what's caused that change for you? Or what has that been a conscious decision, or was that just things have evolved for you?
Yeah, some of it was definitely a conscious decision. I think And then some of it just came along with it. Like, I decided I wanted to do worship, which was kind of weird because I didn't ever really think of myself as like a musical person or like good at singing or anything. But I just had wanted to do it, and I was just like, it's my senior year. After this, I'll go to college, and then I probably won't have other opportunities to do it. So just try it, I guess. And I liked it, and then I guess I kind of just wanted to be involved, so then I joined like Min Prep because I love chapel and care about that a lot, and then got closer with like Mr. Royce and kind of you guys.
Like you guys.
Like, well, I guess you can't see us, but
yeah.
Mr. Smith, Mr. Jackson, and Mr. DeMuth. That's weird because I call you David, but anyways.
She had to think for a hot second, like, what is his last name?
I know, what is his name?
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, I was never involved before, and I don't really like getting involved in things. I usually just like to watch and kind of like sit back. But I was like, you're seniors, we're seniors, like, it's kind of our turn to like lead and have the opportunity to be like role models, I guess. And I've always loved seeing seniors in past classes like step up and be really great like people of faith, and to see them learn and grow in that. So I was like, now it's my opportunity to do that. And yeah, I stepped in. Mr. Royce asked me to speak in chapel, and I really loved that. And now I feel like ministry in some way, I don't know what way it is, but I'm kind of like, I think I'm called to that in a career in some form. I don't know what that will look like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's one of the greatest teachers of future direction is the experiences that we have as we go through. So it's awesome to see you kind of stepping out and taking advantage of that. Was that a moment of like waiting for, because I know that this is true of seniors. Every year we typically have one or two that like kind of go from like we didn't really know you that well to all of a sudden you're like, wow, you've really taken a step to put yourself out there. Has this been more of you're waiting to your senior year, like you kind of knew that was a possibility and waiting for that, or is that like, has that been more of like a realization that just clicked with you at the beginning of this year, moving into this year?
Yeah, I think it was more of like a realization this year. My mom and my dad kind of pushed me, I guess. They were like, you should get more involved in the lives of students and of other people. Just because senior year, I feel like, is largely like self, like the priority is on yourself, because like you're looking towards your future and the things that you need to get done and where you want to go, which is good and you need that. But I think it's easy to like look past other people and their needs and to even like be present in where you are. And so, yeah, I wasn't really like waiting for my senior year to do something. I just, I don't know, that was just never a thought of mine. I just was like, just stay kind of low and quiet. Yeah. And then senior year, I don't even really know what happened. I was just like, let's do it. Let's get into stuff.
Yeah. No. We got like, I think it was an email we got from you about like worship, and we were like, oh, wow. Didn't know. And wait, you said you didn't even know if you like liked music or like, did you know if you could sing or not?
No, I had no idea if I could sing. That's
crazy to me.
No, I didn't know. So
like, I don't even know if it's good, but like, let's do this.
Yeah, at my audition, I said that to David. I was like, I don't even know if this is like, if I can sing or not. Like, I have no idea. So
that is awesome.
I can't just tell me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my parents knew that, like, I didn't know if I could sing or not. They think I could, but they're my parents. Sure. So I didn't really trust them. But they were like, the worst thing that could happen is they would just be like, you're terrible. I'm sorry. Like,
that sounds pretty awful.
You'd really ruin the worship atmosphere if you're up there. Right. So
you've been great with it. It's been awesome to have you up there. How have those changes, your willingness to put yourself out there, your willingness to kind of like step into some roles of I would call like, upfront leadership. There's a lot of leadership. The majority of leadership happens actually behind, the scenes, behind what's going on. But that upfront leadership, like singing, like speaking, is critical. It is crucial to a community. How have stepping into those kind of roles for you impacted community for you? Does it make sense? Like,
yeah.
How have you seen community shift as a result of you kind of putting yourself out there a little bit more?
Mm-hmm. Because I've put myself out there, more people have like come to me. Even though I was focusing on reaching out to other people, but like when I put myself out there and would speak about like struggles or like struggles with depression or something, I've gotten so many like emails and like Instagram DMs and people coming up to me and like either asking to hang out or asking me questions about the things that I've spoken about. And that has opened up a lot of community, I guess, for other people and for me, which has been awesome to see. Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm kind of picking up on this idea that like you, even some of you, you're a self-proclaimed introvert.
Yeah.
Right. Even the most introverted individuals want community to some degree.
Yeah.
But being withdrawn is kind of like it kind of perpetuates isolation in some regard. And by putting yourself out there, it opens you up to people coming to you, which I think the fear for a lot of people who are introverted or who worry about that concept is like, man, I just have to expend so much energy, like getting to know people or reaching out to people. But it is reciprocal, right? It is like, well, once you start putting yourself out there in some spots, you become more approachable. And that's cool to see, just you recognize that change that has taken place for you. Now with that, because you're more introverted, you draw energy from kind of withdrawing and being by yourself. You need those times maybe definitely more than I do. I need those times as well. But you would definitely need more than I would. What things have you had to do to like curb that? Because then now all of a sudden, even though people may be coming to you more, it's still like those moments I'm assuming are still kind of can be draining. I'm sure to some degree they're energizing as well. But have you seen like, oh, I've had to like guard myself in these areas, or have you found them more energizing that people are coming to you rather than you having to go to them?
Yeah, I've found it more, I've definitely found it more energizing. And as far as like breaking the like, I don't know what to call it, like the barrier of like staying within yourself and then going out and reaching out to other people, I feel like you just kind of have to do it. Like, and I would open up to my friends, like, I would much rather like stay at home right now.
Sure.
Or most days of the week, but I would like to be intentional about going out and doing things and getting to know more people. And so when I would do those things, like, it's reciprocal, which I didn't really ever experience until this year. And the benefits of having those relationships and that community is way more energizing than draining. And it's just, you have to experience it, I think, just by doing it to really understand how awesome it is, and like how that community, you can fall back on those relationships. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it like worth it to go out and try to do that. Yeah.
What are the things when you're feeling like overwhelmed, drained by just being around people? What are the things what are your like go-tos? Like when you're like, okay, I'm just going to hang out at home. Are there things specifically that you do that you find kind of re-energize you when you're by yourself?
Well, I love, probably what I do most is like watch movies with my mom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just love being with my mom. And mostly watching Pride and Prejudice over and over again is a comfort movie. The 9-hour version, just on repeat.
I was going to say that's like a binge watching marathon.
It really is. Or the show Hoarders. Have you ever seen that?
Oof. The show just gives me anxiety.
Yeah, that probably isn't a very relaxing show to watch, but I like that one. Watch that.
You like, if it's if it's relaxing to you.
Entertaining, yeah.
Does it make you feel better about your own situation? You're like, well, at least.
And that's why it's bad, is because it's like, well, at least my room doesn't look like that. But
are you generally like a really neat? Is your room neat, or is it kind of like a mess?
I would say it's probably more of a mess most of the time.
Okay.
I do like to keep things neat, but I also can get messy at the same time.
Yeah. My wife and I used to watch like The Biggest Loser, where they're losing weight, and almost inevitably, almost every time we'd be like eating a bowl of ice cream, like good for them.
Yeah, I know.
Just kind of ironic.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love, like, if I'm needing to recharge, I love like to do art, which is like
okay.
I mean, I feel like that's a classic. Like, I'm an introvert and I do art, but like,
right.
Yeah, that's what I like to do to like. At least like, recharge and like get my energy back up and be ready to go like out with people again, or just sleep. I sleep a lot.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
It's a good way to.
The fundamental recharging, right, is just sleeping.
Yeah.
Are you aware enough of yourself to know like when you've reached a point where you're ready to like re-engage with people, like, and then what do you do with that? Do you wait for people to kind of contact you, or do you start to reach out?
Yeah, I would say naturally I would like usually wait for people to reach out, and then I spend way too much time by myself and like isolated, which isn't good. But now that I'm really aware of it, and I've had people to help me be aware of it, I can definitely notice when it's time to like, get out of my room, go see some people, see some humans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I do have to like usually make that initiation, because I think most of the time you do, like a lot of times people aren't just going to come to you. You do have to like make some effort and go out there. But yeah, at my most healthy introverted self, I would reach out, and I generally know when it's like time to go do that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Those kinds of insights I think are so helpful, because I do think there are a lot of people, like I said, even those who are energized by being around people still hit points where they're just like, okay, I'm done, and I need some time to withdraw. And so those kinds of insights, as you're learning yourself in that, I think are helpful for all of us to just to be aware of that for ourselves, and then to understand how reaching out in community, reaching out to people can be reciprocal to where, when it's not just being around people. I think more than that, it's like putting yourself out there and having that risk there that can sometimes be draining. And when people start to reach out to you, then that can be energizing even as an introvert. And that's those kinds of insights are so helpful for all of us.
And even now I do have to like kind of limit myself, like, wow, I've done so many things this week. Like, I am getting drained. Like, wow, I've done this in chapel. I've sang at church. I've gone to this class. I've gone to youth group. And it's like, okay, like, it's okay to tell people like, hey, I need a break. I need, it's just a little bit too much right now. And I did have to learn to do that as well. So,
that's awesome. Well, Mya, thank you. I'm so proud of you for stepping out this year and doing your thing and joining us on the podcast.
Yes,
so thank you for that.
Having me.
Very good. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next week. We're starting a new series in chapel, Intentional Life. So just moving in your personal life into a place of being intentional about the decisions you're making and the direction that you're going. So make sure you check those out, and we will